Hi legends, today the video is gonna be a bit different because while I was doing my news update video regarding Diablo Immortal, I just realized there were a few things that I really wanted to mention because they are not sitting right with me, and maybe it's because I actually had like these 2 weeks off from the game that I managed to zoom out. But I want to talk about this new collab with the Hearthstone. I also want to talk the fact that we're gonna have a new gem coming to the game, new cosmetics, the pre-farming, and the ancient gear, and other things that I'm gonna be touching here and there. But I feel like these are important topics, and if you guys actually agree or disagree with my opinions, please put it down in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps. But let's dive into what is being a problem for me regarding this collab is the fact that it feels like it is too soon. It's not even being what, like 3 months since the last time that we had like this Berserker collab, which I feel like the Berserker collab was actually pretty awesome. Like the hype towards it, and obviously like any event or patch or collab that exists, you play it for 1, 2, or 3 days and then it's pretty much done. You do all the quests and then the event just drags. But I felt like it was kind of cool, for example, the fact that we had a boss and then we used to go to kill the boss, and this boss was actually had a chance of you getting another copy of the Crimson Bahilit. And I will say that when it comes to the Hearthstone, it feels like it is kind of rushed and maybe even mismanaged, especially for such a important IP when it comes to the Blizzard. Hearthstone, like it is awesome. Like it is a card game that there are not many card games that has been as successful online as the Hearthstone, and I just feels like it is being used in a way to just push more cosmetics for us to milk the player base pretty much, which in a way I don't mind, like with cosmetics being added to the game. What I really mind is that there is nothing like brand new that it actually came into the game. Like they are pretty much just say, you know what, we have these game modes, we're gonna put some cards on it, these cards gonna give you different powers, and like that you're gonna be able to do more damage. But at the essence of everything, it is still the same game mode with a bit of tweak. And if you guys remember, whenever we did, for example, the Survivor's Bane here on the Berserker event, it was kind of boring. It was supposed to be a boss at the end, but like nothing really happened. So I feel like when it comes to the expectations that we have, or at least that I have for a crossover event, I feel like it has to be something that exceeds even, for example, a major patch inside the game. And I feel like over the time since I've been playing this game for about like a year and 3 or 4 months now, the patches like right now, a major patch almost looks like a normal patch, and now we also have this crossover event that it feels like it got chopped by half of what actually the content that is coming. So I really want to talk about this because like if we look, for example, at the roadmap that we had, this was quite exciting. So if you see here that we had this, I think is like the competition race that we just had here, probably is going to be the autumn event that is about to come. And then we had the new class, we had that it was a lot of people liked it, and Druid as a class, it is quite nice, but obviously we can say that it is underwhelming, especially compared, again, people had the expectation that it was going to be as OP as the Tempest, and it was not. The third anniversary that we had, I think it was an absolute flop. And then we had here the crossover event with the Berserk, which I feel like it was really cool. So this coming out of nowhere, maybe this considered a summer event, but I don't think so. I was not really expecting to have like a crossover event to be this soon, and maybe because of that, because it's too soon, maybe we are not having the collab that we should have. So let's now talk about the second problem that I think it is existing, and it is about new legendary gems. I feel like the cadency of legendary gems being added in the game, it is absolutely ridiculous right now. So I remember, if I go back like 1 year ago, we used to have a legendary gems maybe coming every major patch, right? Like we had a 1-star, a 2-star, and 3-star. Then we had the implementation of the Morn Skull, which was the first limited time event gem, and like this, it feels like they are just trying to really force us to or keep spending, or create like even more FOMO for us to go and get all of these gems at once. Obviously, you know, that's what the games they want to do. They want you to keep like on the loop, maybe excited slash keep spending money. But at a certain point, there is definitely, you know, a healthy amount of like updates or cycle that you should be rotating, because yeah, you keep adding more gems, more these, more that, but like where are the game modes? Where are the dungeons? Where are the things that will actually change our boring daily and weekly farming cycle, right? I'm gonna talk about that a bit later on, because like that's another issue that I'm having. But it doesn't matter like if this gem is gonna be good or bad. It seems like it's gonna be just fine, maybe like decent in PvP, because it has the silence, can actually be a bit annoying. But that's not the issue that I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the cadency of gems that we're having. I feel like it is becoming slightly overwhelmed, and by my experience of playing other mobile games in the past, whenever they start fast spacing the cycle of, you know, gems or heroes or skins, it really feels like the game, it is like on his last drop, just trying to get like enough money to keep the game at float. Or I know that Diablo Immortal does a lot of money, we all know that, but at the same time, it is still a game that it feels like, regarding the player base, it feels like it keeps shrinking, and that's like a problem that I'm seeing. Like you see whales going out, you see new players coming in, but you know, there are new players and new blood that keeps coming into the game, but it feels like it is not staying. But I don't want to digress like with the conversation, that's a different topic. My important point here is that I feel like they kind of should slow down a bit and try, instead of like just giving us like the easy stuff, which is like more legendary gems, just try to develop the game and try to expand the game and to make it like slightly more exciting for us to play. Down we have here the Phantom Cosmetic. I remember that the Phantom Cosmetic, if you guys can put me right, it used to be like every 3 months or every 4 months, like every major update, and now it is like literally every month, or at least that's how it feels. Every month like we're having a new cosmetic skin. I feel like, yeah, you don't need to have it, you don't need to get it, but at the same time, once you start having more and more and more, it kind of devalues everything or the past skins, because there's always going to be a new skin, a new cosmetic, and again, it just feels like it is trying to push. Obviously, here we have the Battle Pass cosmetic skin. I feel like these ones, in terms of quality, they are better and worse, but they always feels like a Battle Pass skin. But for $5, I mean, like at least it is something that we get. Now we have here that I also want to talk about, it is regarding the pre-farming. If you guys remember, we used to be free to pre-farm whenever we wanted, usually most of the times after you were done with farming your set items, you will probably have enough combat rating to start pre-farming the next one. So now what they do is like they wait a few weeks, like 6 or 7 weeks, until they actually go and start decreasing. So for example, people like me, free to play, can actually go and start pre-farming on the Inferno 8. But here's a thing, and also I think like I was speaking with Sid Gang on the Discord, and he also mentioned like something that was actually correct, because like you spend half of the difficulty trying to farm for the set items of that difficulty, and now you're gonna start farming the rest of the 50 levels that you have of the difficulty, farming for the next one. And it feels like all the time you're just farming for set items. It kind of lacks some excitement in the game for us to really go and keep pushing the boundaries for our customization regarding our class. Also, they implemented here the ancient helmet, which whenever it came to the game, I was so excited, until I really saw that it's pretty much weekly capped on everything. You can only go on Terra Reefs, on the Oblivion Pillars, and it's pretty much pay to win if you want to try to get it. But why don't you make it that someone or everyone could just go into the dungeons and could get that excitement, even if you make it like as a very small chance. Make it like Diablo 4, like people run dungeons, people run these bosses because they want to grow and get the best gear inside the game. But in Diablo Immortal, it feels like by the time you actually have enough ancient artifacts to craft one, my level of excitement was pretty much zero. I crafted the Grave Runner because it is a really good PvP helmet, but that's not the point. The point is that you don't play Diablo or ARPGs games because you are excited to go and craft that as a backup plan. No, I want this while I am playing to drop. But also, I want to have the ability, if I can, and I can spend more time inside the game to farm it, why can't I do that? And I feel like obviously it is a mobile game strategy to implement all these weekly caps and daily caps to just keep like you to build the habit of playing the game and all these things, because the more you play, the more chances you have to actually gonna spend money because you're emotionally attached and all these things. But I feel like it is literally lacking the excitement and the dopamine inside this game, because you get like a bunch of legendaries. You see the bean, but that bean, it's not like exciting at all, because you only need to wait like 4 or 5 minutes to go into the identifier, and the identifier identifies everything at once, and then appears exceptional, and that exceptional usually it's not exceptional at all, and it feels kind of unrewarding. And this ancient gear, I feel like maybe it is a good system for the future of the game, but it feels like it needs something extra. Like these stats, like damage, 6% damage while moving. Wow, like this doesn't not excite me. I want like the ancient gear to be like a shackle, to be something that will probably really change my class or even my character in a way that it has to be more crazy, right? Like it has to feel like, yes, I finally got an ancient gear, and it cannot be like this thing that, you know, you get it, and if you get it early on the difficulty, it is a huge power boost when it comes to your combat rating. But besides that, pretty much you can actually have, for example, a helmet that it is gonna be pretty much like the same thing. If you look at this helmet right here, I have triple stats, and I also have attack speed, skill damage, crit and crit damage, and like this, pretty much it is 4 substats, and I don't really have a lot of gain when it comes to it. And someone can even say that maybe I'm even at loss because I am losing 242 and 200 willpower. So that's another topic that we can say about like this gear. But my main point is that Diablo Immortal right now, I feel like it needs so much more like dopamine hits to feel like a true ARPG. We had that feeling, for example, whenever we had the legendary runes. Man, that legendary runes is like, it is still something that it quite excites me whenever I drop, because I know I'm gonna make, you know, a bunch of plats, or I know that I'm gonna be able to use it. So that's like probably the only thing that they actually really implemented right in a game, because like it is rare, so it is valuable, and also whenever you slot it in, it is actually pretty good. So more things of that, please try to expand this and try to give us something better for the next 50 levels of the difficulty, because the game feels extremely dry after you get all the ancestors and after you get the first set items. And given this loop that we can just start pre-farming once again, I don't think like it is good enough. So we also gonna have here a new change when it comes to the loyalty system, that in the sum up basically it says that, you guys remember like whenever you had to wait for you to be at a level 900 to go and collect the ancestors that you wanted, because they were already added in the game 2 weeks ago, but you could not get with the loyalty bonus, so it was kind of weird. So they changed that. So now on the 13th June they actually gonna put the ancestors and you actually gonna be able to buy the ancestors early on. So probably whenever the new difficulty comes into the place, you're gonna be able to use it, or probably you already gonna be able to use it early on. So as you see here, like even the levels in the server peak level is actually not mattering at all. So I will say like, you know, in terms of like cycle and the game and the gameplay, I am feeling like quite exhausted. Like if I look at my green side items, I used to be someone that I used to push all the time for like at least 3-2, 3-2, or 3-3 or something like that. And now I just like get whatever. And maybe it's something that comes with the game, and but it is definitely something that is worrying me about. And I just wanted to come here, sit and share. I hope my points were valid. I hope they made sense. This is not like really bad criticism regarding the game. It's just like it is what it is. You can take it as you want, but I'm just coming as someone that I am concerned and I care about the game, and I just want it to get better. That's pretty much it. So I hope that, Diablo Immortal with Hearthstone collab is gonna be better than what I expect. I feel like people don't really expect much because from what I see, it doesn't feel like there is anything to really be excited. But let me know what you guys think. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, type shit in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.